Welcome to Billy Ho Sports. Thank you for tuning in. Please remember to subscribe to the channel and don't forget to like and comment on the videos. I hope you enjoy the show. Now, let's go. Hello, Billy Ho here, coming at you with another PGA week. We are back to a full field event, and we are at the Butterfield Bermuda Championship, Port Royal, and it's like the most southwest tip of Bermuda. So, if that means anything to you, it's normally an off field event, or is what we call it. And it's an event that they used to play like in the regular season, uh, spring, summertime, or whatever. And it would be during the same week as they played, whatever rando event that was going on at the time that was a big deal in the PGA. So maybe the players or something like that was going on. But then you'd have another full field event with Butterfield, but now they've done the smart thing, I think, to give these young guys on the Corn Ferry, the old veterans that are still struggling to keep their cards, and guys that are just generally not your top ranked golfers, a shot to accrue some FedEx points early in the fall, get these Corn Ferry guys off and running, and things of that nature. So it's a good tournament in the fall, I think, and we get a week to shine ourselves because I think we've got some great opportunities to take advantage of a full field event. And if you're willing to put in the work, and Billy Ho's ready to put in some work if you are. So hopefully we can get her done. Real quick, just harp on the. I know if you watch the videos, I've been talking about this $250 NFL contest for DraftKings. All you have to do is click the red subscribe button for Billy Ho Sports. The link is in the description of this video to take you right to Twitter. You can retweet the main tweet, leave your DraftKings name, and you'll get an invite. Once I get 250 subscribers, we'll run the contest. The thing that I'm trying to wrap my head around and trying to understand, and I know that I don't have that many followers as the other people and subscribers anyway, so maybe word's not being spread, but I think it's gotten out in the last couple of weeks anyway, is why people are so quick to, and I'll say this as kindly as I can, I guess, or without trying to be a dick, is so quick to like, retweet, subscribe when there's just straight giveaways. Like, oh, we're going to pick one random guy in this 2,000 people retweet, and they're going to win $100 or they're going to win $200. What I'm trying to do here is a small field where you actually use your DraftKings skills to build a lineup and win a contest to win the $200. And I think you've got a better chance to do it. A, you've got your skill set if you think you're good. And B, it's going to be a very small field. We're talking maybe 100 people. So just keep that in mind for future reference. And we're going to move on to the contest selection. Billy Ho contest weekly PGA will be out as soon as pricing comes out. So hopefully we'll get that leverage we're looking for. And my first run model gave some 5 kind of off-putting kind of guys. So stick around and we'll look at some models here in a few minutes. The weather, aka numero uno, as my man Degenerate 75 says. The first thing you always want to check is weather, and that is no truer than this week at Bermuda, because Port Royal, I told you, the southwest tip of Bermuda is always under threat for weather, and it's typically high winds, very gusty winds. Like, you can't wear the bucket hat Damon winds. You might not wear a hat at all because if it flops off your head, it's in the ocean. Gusty winds, and I think there's some rain. So we're going to take a look at the weather, and then we're going to get into skill sets and all that kind of good stuff. So let's get her done. And here, as always, we're going to start off with weather. If it's necessary, I mean, it's early, but if we're looking at the weather here, you see that there's good days and bad days. So it's not lock button that we're looking at 29, 38 mile an hour gusts during the day. And so Friday looks typically the same into Saturday, all the way into Saturday. So either this is going to move forward and we're all going to see this heavy winds on the weekend, or it's going to trail backwards and we're going to still see it. I still think we're going to be extremely windy. You can see the drops here on the rain. So there's some decent amount of rain Thursday projected. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. And let's take a look. Well, I'll tell you about Port Royal. Let's take a look at the breakdown, and we'll be up here looking at some holes and whatnots. And so Port Royal is a short par 71. Front nine has the two reachable par fives. It's also like we're actually where we're going next week, El Camaleon in Mexico for the OHL. So that's next week's tournament, and this is a lot like it. Both are short and have contrasting elements. It's like kind of like the plantation course in Maui. It's not length, but it's like undulations across the entire golf course. It's like uneven fairways, so you want guys that can handle that kind of stuff. Guys that maybe played well at Augusta, if they're even in here. Guys that played well at maybe like the Heritage, minus the trees. Also, off the top of my head, Undulations Memorial, because it's built kind of like Augusta. So just keep that in mind. And also for weather stacking, the first 6 holes are played away from the coastline, protected against the wind, and are set at a lower point on elevation wise. Most of these holes are guarded by trees. The par 5 second hole is 553. Then you got 517 for the real short one. That's going to be attackable. And then you got 3 other attackable par 4s as well on the front. And players are definitely going to need to take advantage of these early holes to build a good score heading into some serious gusty winds once they hit the coastline. And that's usually when they walk up to the 7th green, they'll see the open coast and feel that breeze. And then on through the 10th hole, the course opens up into the coast with no protection from the wind. It also will be in effect during the closing 5-hole stretch, 14 through 18. So it's kind of like the first couple of holes, like you round 10, and then you get like a little mini break, 11 through 13, kind of peels back in. So the back nine has a couple of long par 3s, 13 and 16, both measuring 235 yards. So those are interesting. And the 17th par 5 is 501 yards. So being a huge eagle opportunity. So what you need to do is avoid fairway bunkers and all the water down the left-hand side of that hole, and you're good. The course features Bermuda grass throughout the course. It's fairways rough, Tiff Eagle, Bermuda greens. The Bermuda rough is just bad enough to cause some issues if you're wayward off the tee. So the key to this tournament, basically, in my opinion, is course management and wind management. Guys that play good in the wind. Also, greens are 6,800 square feet, and they are also raised and undulating and pitched and sloped and all that good stuff with angles toward the trouble, toward sand bunkers, toward water hazards. And I think it's similar to this week at Congaree, to where I bump up guys that are good on links courses. All right, now skill sets. This is the first model of the week, and it's just got some off the tee. I put fairways gain down here just to get an indicator, because what I'm seeing from tournament, and this is tournament history. Bear with me just a second. And you see who's got good turn. It's Brian Gay, Russell Knox, David Hearn, Hickok, Denny, Hank, Big Bank Hank. He's in play this week. Malnati's been in pretty good form lately. Seamus will probably be extremely popular. So you see the guys, Smalley, Piercy. You see those kind of guys. And what I was saying was in this first rankings, you see who the top five are: S.H. Kim, Patrick Rogers, Nick Hardy, Cheston Hadley, and Steven Yeager. So those are all guys that are not particularly great off the tee. Now Hardy is, and Rogers, as obviously in this field, these guys are going to rank a little better off the tee. But what we're looking for is a lot guys that make a lot of birdies. But normally short game is going to get her done out here. So if you got the short game pop week, like Patrick Rogers did, I think last year, where he was pretty close to Lucas Herbert. So if you just go short game, and then you get guys like Denny and Sung Yil No, who's got awful off the tee, but could do some things. He's an interesting guy this week. But like I said, strokes gained off the tee, not as important as normal courses, judging by the past winners like Lucas Herbert, Brian Gay, Brendan Todd. So this might be the highest ranking I give short game and putting this week. Of course, strokes gain approach is going to be there. I'll probably put a little bit of emphasis on wedges and probably some guys, obviously guys good in the winds, probably some scrambling. And also, I think I might look into something that's kind of I rarely do and care about. It's apex ball flight, which is the height the ball reaches when you hit the ball off the tee. And some guys are like 130 feet on average, and some guys are 82 feet on average. So I might like those guys that gear it down and hit those lower profile drives off the tee. So I'm going to keep that in mind. But like I said, my original model had S.H. Kim, Rogers, Hardy, Hadley, Yeager, and then Denny, Vince Whaley, who's kind of a specialist on these coastal courses, and Peter Malnati. So I am looking for those Linksy types guys, coastal guys, wind guys, things of that nature. So that's going to kick us off for the week at Bermuda. Stay tuned. We're going to have a show Tuesday, and we'll see what's going on with a little bit of ownership and narrow down the pool once prices come out. Don't forget the Billy Ho Weekly contest. Also, NFL contests. Check out the content. You know, I'm not asking you to just click the sub button and go away. If you play DFS, give it a shot. It's not that long of videos. And sometimes you get some hidden gems in there. I'll pull a few out my butt every now and then, and I'm not trying to give you picks. What I'm trying to do is just bring to light some players. There's 143 players in the field this week. So if I could toss out 15 guys, and that gives you maybe 4 guys that nobody else is talking about to look at, then I've done my job. So that's all I really want to do is just be as provide some kind of content, mild entertainment, you know, little Billy Ho accent, country boy, Kentucky, and all that good stuff. So, you know, keep me in mind and share the word if you like what I'm doing here. And check out the House of Aces. This is one of my freshest T-shirts that I made. This is actually me a long time ago, 1998, Cedarfield Golf Course, hole number 17, 138-yard par 3. And I made my first and only ace I've ever made my entire life. So I can make you a shirt like this. You just got to give me the specs, and I'll, you know, like where you did it, the date, all that good stuff. And, you know, for a small fee, I can hook you up. So hit me in the DMs on the Twitter at Billy Ho Sports. Join the Discord. The link's in the description. Till the next video, we'll see you soon. Appreciate you watching. Shout out to the Flophouse.